Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. All right, you guys, before we get to the video, let me just remind you guys of what Top of the Blogs is. This is an entertainment gossip vlog that I do weekly. Whenever I ask you guys for suggestions, for whatever reason, you guys don't never want to remember that this is supposed to be like a fun, lighthearted video, okay? And you guys start requesting me to talk about kidnappings and murders and, you know, people drowning and, you know, like, I get it. There are a lot of things that are happening in the world today. And when it's something that's super huge, like Uvalde, of course, we're going to talk about that, the gun violence that's going on in the U.S., like that is a topic that we need to talk about no matter what, okay? And not saying that the other topics aren't important and don't need to be talked about, but that's not what I want to have in this video. So I just have to remind you guys when you guys are giving me suggestions, and I know a lot of people sometimes think that I'm ignoring them, but that's not, I'm not ignoring you. It's just those are the topics that is not for this video. This video is only supposed to, like, we're supposed to be laughing and having a good time. Of course, Uvalde is nothing to laugh and have a good time about, but like I said, that's like such a big topic in America right now that we have to talk about it. I have to have a time when I can talk about it, and Top of the Blogs is really the only time. All of my other videos are TV shows. So Top of the Blogs is really the only time that I can talk about stuff that I just have to talk about. But other than that, you guys, yeah, I gotta remind you, entertainment, gossip, vlog, okay? Now, with that being said, you guys, the first topic today is about Uvalde. We know about the school shooting that happened. This is probably the third week that I've talked about the school shooting. And right now, gun violence and gun control laws is what everybody is talking about. But the time has come where we need to stop talking and start doing. If you guys were watching the news yesterday, you saw that they are having hearings, and they actually talked to some of the parents, one of the students. We've heard from one of the teachers that survived, that was shot, who happened to lose all of the kids in his classroom, 11 kids. We've heard from Matthew McConaughey. I mean, we've heard from a lot of people that either were directly there or have some sort of tie to Uvalde. And you guys, gosh, I don't want to be negative. I would love to think that the Republicans are going to pass this bill in the Senate, but I just really have a feeling that it is not going to happen once it makes it there, okay? Now, the House did pass the bill yesterday. I think they said that there were 5 Republicans who crossed the aisle and signed for it to also pass, but they're saying that 4 of those 5 Republicans weren't up for nomination or for re-election. So, you know, they weren't going to lose anything by putting it on the line and signing. That right there will let you know that many of the Republicans only are thinking about their political status, how they land in the office. And yeah, I don't know, you guys. I mean, watching the news, watching the political pundits, they say that this time it feels different, and that there are many, many people, even those from the Republicans, that want something done about this gun law. Right now, they're trying to raise the age from 18 years old to 21 years old to be able to buy an assault rifle. I honestly feel like an assault rifle, there's no need for one to have one of those, but they're not going to they're not going to ban assault rifles. This little 3-year thing don't even feel like it's that big of a fucking deal, okay? I saw one of the Republicans, and it was a black guy yesterday. I don't remember what his name was, but he was just like, he's against raising the age because then the fundamental constitutional rights of 19 and 20-year-olds are being denied. And I was just like, Oh my God. 3 years is making this much of a fuss. When I think about it, I'm just like, what we are doing, even by just changing this age by 3 years, means that we'll probably just have 21-year-olds killing the kids in the schools and the grocery stores and the churches, at the post office, at parades, instead of 18-year-olds. It's not even going to stop much. So I don't even see why the big fuss is. It just seems like the Republicans are just... You know, it's very frustrating. And if you were listening to those hearings yesterday, I don't know how you could even fix your hand to sign off on not passing a bill. I mean, these parents, that little girl and the teacher that survived, he wasn't in the hearings, but he was on an interview, I think with Good Morning America or like ABC Nightly News or something this week. But to hear their actual stories, they were actually there. Okay, the little girl that had to cover herself in her friend's blood because she was afraid that the gunman was going to come back in there. She went and got her teacher's phone and called the police and told them where to come. Okay, and for the teacher who said that he felt bad because he felt like the training that was given to them for them to hide under the desk, he felt like he made his kids sitting ducks. Can you imagine the guilt that person is going to feel, that man is going to feel for the rest of his life? You know, that he's in charge of these kids. And, you know, I don't understand how people can listen to these stories and not be affected and want to make some changes. You know, there's been a lot of Republicans that they've caught on the street, you know, just kind of talking to them. And whenever they're asked about gun control, they figure out a way to talk themselves out of it, talk themselves around it, never answering the question. Is just appalling. And then to know that this is going to go to the Senate and it's, you know, I know the constituents, they say, are calling the senators and telling them that they want something done. But I want to be proven wrong. I want to see that America cares about, you know, well, I want to see that the Senate cares about Americans like they supposedly say that they do. Okay. And right now it's just so frustrating. But then to hear Mitch McConnell demanding that there's protection for Brett Kavanaugh, who was one of the Supreme Court justices who was threatened, for them to demand that he has extra security is just a fucking slap in the face. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? You guys don't even want to raise the fucking age 3 years, but you want us to hurry up and protect this man. Now, yes, he's a Supreme Court justice, and yeah, they should be protected. But what I'm saying is for you to get on there and be so indignant, you are so just, you can't believe that, you know, we wouldn't pass any type of protection law for this Supreme Court justice when these kids are being fucking gunned down. Black people, people at the hospitals, like I said, everywhere. Okay? That right there lets you know that they're more concerned about just their own than the good of the country. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. It is very frustrating. And we'll see what happens when it makes it to the Senate. But it's just feeling like more of the same. And now they want teachers to be doing all of this to protect themselves and going to training and possibly carrying guns. And what the fuck? When I decided that I wanted to be a teacher, that meant that I was trying to teach these kids to be a better person. Okay, make sure that they turn out into the world and be able to contribute something to society. I did not think that I was going to have to be in here protecting these kids physically from getting killed. Okay, that is something totally different than what we signed up for when we was graduating from college, you know? And it's just, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So I want to remain hopeful, but I'm telling you guys, that hope is not, it's just, I just don't understand. You saw the guy on, I was looking at the neighborhood talk, and one guy was talking about how after 9/11 we didn't ban airplanes. So fucking stupid. And then these are the people that's in office. Who the fuck is gonna ban an airplane? An airplane is not even a weapon, okay? It was used as a weapon, but there are other things that are used as a weapon. Cars are used as a weapon sometimes. You see when people drive down the street and run people over? That don't mean we fixing to ban fucking cars, does it? You know? It's ridiculous. And that's how they try to like get around the issue, sounding more and more stupid, you guys. It's just, oh, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want those kids and those two teachers to have died in vain. So I'm just going to leave it at this. I just hope that somebody in the Senate finds it in their heart to at least pass this bill that still really ain't gonna make much difference to in the grand scheme of things. Motherfuckers just wait till they 21 to go shoot somebody up, okay? But I mean, we gotta try to take the baby steps, whatever we can. So we'll see. We'll see, you guys, but yeah. So on to the bullshit. Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan. It seems that these two have decided to call it quits. After, how long were they even together? Was it a year? It was maybe a year and some change that they have been together. And I honestly always thought that it was a publicity stunt. When they got together, both of them didn't have the best PR around them at the time. We know that Lori Harvey had just gotten off by leaving the scene of the crime when she had gotten to an accident. Remember, she flipped her vehicle. She ended up crawling out of the vehicle and leaving the scene of the crime. Then we also knew that she had just come off of a really public relationship with Future, which is never the best look. Okay. And then we know Michael B. Jordan, he had rumors floating around about him that he only dated white women. There were rumors floating around that he was gay. So both of them had, I mean, nothing that wasn't horrible. I mean, they didn't have any horrible gossip about them, but there was just a little bit of bad pub about them that was floating around. So I always felt like they put those two together because it seemed like it was so random. And all of a sudden, Michael B. Jordan, who never, ever really put his private life out there socially, all of a sudden, it was like an overkill of these two on vacation, okay? Nugget and Turtle or whatever, Peanut and Turtle, whatever the hell they called each other. And it just came out of nowhere. And it was like I said, I mean, just a plethora of too much information almost about their relationship. So I was like, yeah, this is probably a publicity stunt. But somewhere along the line, you guys, I started to like to see them together. Okay. It looked like these two were getting serious. Seeing her in this relationship with him, kind of, even though she is somewhat of a Harvey, I mean, you know, Steve Harvey adopted Lori Harvey and her siblings when he married Marjorie Harvey. But I think that Michael B. Jordan still opened some doors for Lori. And because we saw her so much on the arm of like now an actor that a person that we actually admired, you know, it just sort of made people be more open to her, you know, and now I know she has a skincare line and we've seen her, you know, I mean, she was still out there. She was a socialite and everything, but, you know, I think people are kind of taking her a little bit more seriously, not just a socialite, but maybe starting to offer her business opportunities and things like that. So, you know, she got what she needed out of it. And like I said, Michael B. Jordan, he also, all of those rumors about him died down with the quickness. Okay, so I did like to see them together. I kind of felt like it was a situation like what happened with Cardi B and Offset. You guys, they always said that Cardi B and Offset was put together as well. And then it turned out that those two actually really liked each other, fell in love with each other, got married, had kids, like, you know. So I kind of felt like maybe that was going to be the same thing that happened with Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey. But fast forward some time now, you guys, and they called it quits. We don't know who quit who. All we saw was that they were brokenhearted about it, you know? And it's so funny whenever you see those kind of headlines, you like, well, what the fuck you break up for? If you so brokenhearted, be together, make the shit work. So we don't really know exactly who broke up or broke off with who. If you ask me, the damn contract finally finished and they both was just like, yeah, okay, see ya. The rumor is that he was ready to settle down at his 35 big age years, and she's only 25 years old, and that she wasn't ready, okay? Now that may or may not be true. 25 is not super young. When you start getting to the latter parts of your 20s, sometimes, you know, you do start thinking about settling down and getting married. So, you know, I don't feel like she's all that young. I think I got married, well, I guess I was like 28. But that's neither here nor there. If one is ready to settle down and the other one isn't, then yeah, then it isn't going to work. Okay, and if you want to settle down, then you maybe you need to be with somebody who's ready to be there too. Both of them are going to be just fine because they're both very good looking. And generally good people. We don't hear bad things about them. So, I mean, you know, first of all, we know that Lori gonna be with somebody. She gonna be just fine. You know, it always cracks me up how people, be so upset with Lori Harvey and her, dating status, or, you know, the fact that she's been with many, you know, she's dated many guys. I mean, I think that at that age, you were supposed to. I dated a lot of people, but I can't even remember all the names of people. That didn't mean I was fucking them. I wasn't. But I did date a lot of people because at that age, when else can you do it? You know? When else can you do that? This is the time to get to know people and figure out exactly what you want. Maybe there was just something in Michael that she didn't want. And even vice versa. He might have wanted something different than what she could provide him. So, you know, it's just like, let this girl go and live her life and date. Okay, if that's what she wants to do. It does not mean that she's a hoe. It don't mean that she's sleeping with everybody. It don't mean none of that. Okay. And Michael B. Jordan, like I said, if he is ready to settle down, then you need to be with somebody that's on the same page as you. Nothing more frustrating than wanting something from somebody and they're just not going to provide it. Okay. You just spinning your wheels and frustrating your own damn self. So, yeah, it's time to just let it go. And, you know, everybody move on with their lives so they can find whatever happiness that is out there. I mean, we don't live forever, right? But yeah, like I said, I always felt like it was like a publicity stunt, and the shit just finished. What do you guys think, though? Did you think that Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey was serious? Or did you always think as well that this was just something that they had put together? Y'all let me know. All right, you guys, next story up. Pretty sad, actually. We're going to send up a rest in peace to rapper Trouble, Atlanta rapper Trouble, mama named Tamariel Samante Orr, okay? I wasn't familiar with this rapper. I don't know. Maybe I should have looked up what his music was. But anyway, good looking guy. Apparently he was over at a woman's house. I guess they had relations. He was spending the night there, or at least he had fallen asleep. And while he was there overnight, a man by the name of Jermichael Jones broke into the woman's house, got into a fight with the woman and Trouble, and ended up shooting and killing Trouble, okay? Which is just an alarming thought to think that, you know, you could be seeing somebody that could be putting you in like imminent danger. Okay, I'm sure, well, I'm not sure, But you know, when you meet somebody and you think that you are going to forge some sort of relationship, whether or not it's long lasting or not, even if it's for just a one night stand, if that person is willing to have you in your home, you in their home, then, you know, I guess people just automatically think that things are going to be safe and that they can do this. But the fact of the matter, the reality is you have to be careful what surroundings you put yourself in, because you could end up this way. Now, ironically and chillingly so, Trouble had been caught on a video, not caught, but he had posted a video on social media not long ago where he's talking to his homies out there and saying, like, telling men, don't get yourself caught up with some woman just because they got good bottom, which I'm assuming means that, you know, just because they got good sex, you know, be careful, because these women, you know, will get you caught up. It's just gonna spread them low and wide for the next nigga, you know, like, you know, just be careful out there. But he kind of ended up dying from the very same advice that he was trying to give other people. And just really tragic, really, really tragic. Jarmichael Jones ended up turning himself in to the Rockdale County Sheriff's, I believe the very next day, and he is now in jail. There is no bond set, and looks like he will be spending a lot of the rest of his life in jail, which is just terrible. Okay, now evidently this is the ex-boyfriend of the girl. You know, the messy part of this story was Trouble was seeing some other girl. Well, you guys know how it is when these rappers get killed and all of the girlfriends start coming out of the net, out of the bushes. So he had, I guess, one official girlfriend. She actually said that, you know, she can't even think about the fact that he was at another woman's house. She's just upset at the fact that he was killed. You know, I mean, she's grieving. But we've had other girls that have come out and posted pictures of them with Trouble and things. It's just really unfortunate, you guys. And it's too bad that emotions got that high where this person came in there and killed. Like, you know, it's never worth it. And like I said, that video that he made is just really ironic that he made that video and the same thing kind of happened to him. It's amazing what our words, you know, what we speak, how powerful our words are. You know, I used to think that that was just like deep talk. You guys know I'm not deep or anything, but when people say your words have power, we're coming to find out that it is definitely true. I was really disturbed the other day as well when Kevin Gates got on social media and said that, you know, if people come for the people that he loves, you know, that there was going to be some problems, you know, you're going to have to kill me. I was just like sitting there looking at him like, why would you say that to social media when you know it's so many people that's just waiting to be challenged? Had might not even been thinking about doing anything to Kevin Gates, but the fact that he said, you gonna have to kill me, you know, it's just sort of like, as crazy as the people are in this world today, as unhinged as so many people on social media are, you would actually say something like that. Now, he was talking about this relationship that he has, I guess, with JoJo from Love and Marriage, Love and Hip Hop Miami. Apparently he's not with Drake any longer. He is single and he's now seeing JoJo. Don't ask me how them two ended up together. Okay. And I guess when they were out somewhere, a lot of people had come up to them while they were walking down the street, and he said he doesn't travel with security. I mean, he just basically telling everybody how he moves. Okay. And really inviting people to come and do something to him. So I was just like, why are you? But I say all that to say is that the power of our words, it does mean something, especially these days. You know, if you don't want shit to happen, then just don't say it. And so I'm worried about Kevin Gates when you said that. You know, I mean, I know Kevin Gates is kind of special himself, but still, it's just like, why give people even the thought, you know? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Getting back to the subject of the rapper Trouble. Yeah, just a tragic story, a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, really having nothing, as far as we know so far, really having nothing to do with him, and just the fact that the ex-boyfriend was jealous that there was another nigga at his ex-girlfriend's house, you know. So so prayers up for his family. And again, these cases, shit like this happens, and nobody wins. Jarmichael Jones, he's going to be in jail for the rest of his life, or a long, long time. The rapper Trouble is dead and gone, and two families have lost somebody very special to them. So, you know, it's just, they have got to stop doing this. They have got to, you know, every week it feels like a rapper is being killed, and it's unfortunate. But anyway, rest in peace to Trouble. All right, you guys, next story in white people news. I never watched TheChrisleys Knows Best or whatever the name of the show was, but a lot of you guys did. We've talked about them before when they were in some sort of trouble, maybe when this subject first came up. But we found that both Todd and Julie Chrisley have been found guilty of tax evasion. All counts of bank fraud and tax evasion. Okay, so they said for 5 years, the Chrisleys swindled banks out of, $30 million. What they did was they went to smaller banks, local banks that didn't have the staff, or just maybe not even the knowledge to do their due diligence and really, really get into the background checks of these two. You know, like a Wells Fargo or a Chase Bank or something like that, Bank of America. They avoided those banks. They went to the smaller banks, and these banks gave them these loans. They told those banks that they made more money than they actually did. You know, if they would have gone to the bigger banks, they would have probably found out that they were lying about their income and had been turned down. And actually, probably in the long run, that might have been better for them. But anyway, they went to these smaller banks, $30 million. And they did this for 5 years. Then in 2012, Todd Chrisley ended up filing bankruptcy and was able to get rid of $20 million of those loans that he had made. Wasn't responsible for them anymore. They went away with the bankruptcy. Then as far as their taxes, they hid the amount of what they really made on their reality show. And you already know the IRS is gonna get their fucking money one way or the other. Don't get me to talking about the IRS. And then they ended up, I think they said that they hadn't been filing their taxes since 2009. So somewhere around 11 years, they've been evading taxes and, you know, doing all of this with their, anyway, the feds was like, absolutely not to fucking day. Okay. So they have been found guilty. And I think they said that they faced like 30 years in jail. Y'all know the feds don't play. They are definitely gonna do some time. They probably won't get 30. They probably won't get 30 years, but they are definitely going to do some time. Because like I said, the government, you can do a whole lot out there, but you cannot cheat the government out their fucking money. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, bad news for the Chrisleys. I guess they didn't know best. Guys, next story up. So I actually just saw this morning on social media, and I was very disappointed to see this, but apparently MARLO was on Carlos King's reality podcast. I think it's Reality with the King. I think that's the name of the podcast show. And you know how MARLO can be. MARLO was just talking about whatever MARLO wants to talk about. I'm sure Carlos was asking her questions, she was answering. Okay, she talked about her relationship with Nene and all. Well, there was also a time in the interview where she talked about Candy. And it's just so funny to me that this year seems to be everybody is coming for Candy year. Well, you know, you that bitch when everybody got all this conversation, right? Ain't that what Beyonce said? Why all of a sudden? First of all, we know that Kandi is the fave. Kandi is really the official fave on Real Housewives now that Nene is gone. Not saying that Kandi replaced Nene, because, you know, the Nene lovers will come out the woodwork. But what I'm saying is Nene's not there. She's now the fave. And Kandi is handling her fucking business, all right? And I would imagine that there is a lot of maybe envy. And even if it's not envy, Kandi is the person to come after because everybody loves her so if you want to make sure that you solidify your place as a housewife, you either have to be the one that everybody loves or you have to be the villain. Now, we know that Kenya has decided that she doesn't want to be the villain anymore. And I think everybody can see this season that Kenya has really changed in her approach of approaching these other women. Yeah, she can still be shady. Yeah, she can still be messy, but it's more in a fun, lighthearted way and not quite so much vitriol behind it, right? So now we have somebody that has taken her place, and that would be Marlo. All right. Now, what Marlo said in this interview was so disappointing because, you guys, I do like Marlo. I've told you guys that before, but I also know that Marlo has a very gutter side and that she doesn't fun shade. She's actually malicious when she shades. And, you know, a lot of times people are able to just kind of take Marlo in stride, but she knows how to strike at a person and really get under their skin. So when Marlo was saying that Kandi needs to do more for the Black community, you know, that she needs to do more for the Black culture, that she's fucked out in Atlanta, you know, get over the sex stuff. I was just listening to Marlo and was just like, really, Marlo? Are you telling Kandi to do more for the Black community and the Black culture? This woman has businesses all over Atlanta. I mean, I live in the Black neighborhood, and I can think of many businesses that Kandi has right by my house, okay? That Kandi has made. Kandi lives near me. She lives in the area, you know, that I live in. She doesn't live up north. She's not up in Duluth. She's not up in Alpharetta. She's not up the 400. You know, she's still kind of in the SWATs, okay? She lives in the Black neighborhood. She puts her money in the Black neighborhood. She provides jobs in the Black neighborhoods. And for Marlo to say that, I was just like, you just saying that to piss Kandi off because you knew it was going to piss her off. So I don't know where Kandi was, but she was on like some sort of red carpet. And one of the, you know, the journalist that was on the red carpet told her what Marlo said. And I'm telling you guys, that Kandi was pissed because her voice was shaking. And I get that same way when I get really, really mad. And because I also have the tendency when I get super mad that the tears want to start coming. So I be trying to control the tears from coming. So then my voice get all shaky and shit, right? But that Kandi, when she said she get on my motherfucking nerves, you know, when you start cursing, you know, you done stepped out, you done stepped out that box. She was really mad. And she had every right to, because it was just sort of like, really, Marlo? How you trying to tell me that I ain't done nothing? I done did more than everybody on this fucking show. And that's not trying to brag. That's just a fact, okay? And maybe people don't have it like Kandi to be able to do it. Nobody is saying that they have to do what Kandi does, you know? But when people want to be, Marlo says that Kandi needs to be teaching people how to have Black businesses. Girl, really? You know, so when I heard Marlo say that, I was disappointed, and I was 100% behind Kandi when Kandi was like, I have done this, that, and the other. I paid off student loans for people I don't even know. I even tried to help Marlo get a show that she didn't go to because she was so busy kissing ass on Real Housewives. I mean, she was really, really mad. Okay, so yeah, Kandi did. I was just like, Kandi, don't step off the throne. It's okay, because most of the people who know you and admire you know that Marlo is just full of shit, you know? And it was just too bad. But like I said, Kandi is the person to come after. The same like we saw Phaedra. She was on the Wendy Williams show. She was talking to Michael Rappaport. I think he was the one that was talking to her. The fact that they mentioned Kandi You know, like I said, she's the one. You know, Phaedra was just like, well, she's a good business person, but you know, I'm over in Dubai, you know, on yachts or whatever she said. And I was just like, you could have just left it at, yeah, she's a good business person, and I don't really have much contact with Kandi. But of course, you know, Phaedra being the shade queen and having to say what she has to say, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, you're on Real Housewives of Dubai as a friend of the show. Okay, you're still not a housewife, something that you still want because you have made it a point to still stay in the circle of this group, okay, or of this franchise. And like I said, she's always kind of swirling around the circles of Real Housewives, okay? So now that she's on Dubai, now, girl, really, you know? So I just take those things with a grain of salt. But yeah, but the MARLO statement, when she says she's fucked out of Atlanta, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means, you know? But just very disappointing. Just very disappointing. But honey, Kandi, girl, you know that we all respect and love the fact that you have done a lot. You are one of the housewives that we have seen make such a difference on this show. You have been an inspiration to a lot of people. So don't listen to that, because first of all, I don't even think MARLO really even believes what she says. I think she just says shit just to piss people off, just to get under the skin and all of that. She's, you know, giving good TV or giving good content. But yeah, it's too bad. I hate that she said that. I hate that she said that. But I think it's par for the course for this season. We already know that Kandi and MARLO are going to have some words coming up here soon. So I think MARLO is just trying to stay true to it, you know, the storyline. But not cool.